Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Essex. Today we have many guests. First of all, Dr. Lopez is going to give us some advice to live longer and better. Good morning, Sofía.
Good morning, Carlos.
What are you going to tell us?
I'm going to talk about some medical patterns to live better.
Okay, first of all, why don't you explain to us the meaning of health and illness?
Everybody thinks that being healthy means not having physical illness, but in accordance to World Health Organization, health is not only this. In accordance with WHO, health is a state of completely physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely the absence of diseases or infirmity. And illness is not only to have physical diseases. In accordance to WHO, illness is an alteration of derivation of the physiologic state in one of various parts of the body, for generally no reason manifest by characteristic signs and symptoms, and whose evolution is more or less predictable.
That's very interesting. Why do we get ill?
That's a good question. There are many things that can make you ill, but I'm only going to talk about viruses and bacteria. Bacteria constitute a large domain of prokaryotic microorganisms, typically a few micrometers in length. Bacteria have a number of shapes, ranging from sphere or roots or spirals. Bacteria were among the first life forms to appear on Earth, and are present in most of its habitats. Despite their apparent simplicity, bacteria can form complex associations with other organisms. These symbiotic associations can be divided into parasitisms, mutualisms, and commensalisms. Viruses depend on the host cells and that they infect to reproduce. When found outside of host cells, viruses exist as a protein coat of capsids. Sometimes is enclosed within a membrane. The capsid encloses either DNA or RNA, which code for the viruses, cause a number of diseases in eukaryotes. In humans, smallpox, the common cold, chickenpox, influenza, shingles, herpes, polio, rabies, Ebola, Hanta fever, and AIDS are examples of viral diseases. Even some types of cancer, though definitely not all, have been linked to viruses.
I think that this information is going to be really useful to the people that are watching us today. Now that we know some reasons for our diseases, can you tell us how to prevent some illnesses?
Of course I can. I'm going to tell you the easiest way to prevent illness. The most useful instrument to prevent illness is soup, because it kills many bacteria, and hands are a big focus of infection, because there are often the contact with the mouth. Another way to avoid infection are clean wounds and with oxygenated water. There are sexual infections too. The best way to avoid them is using a condom. Some example of this illness is syphilis and gonorrhea.
I completely agree with you, but I think that one of the most important ways to prevent diseases is to have a healthy lifestyle. It is necessary to do sport regularly. For example, I recommend you 2.5 hours of aerobic activities and 15 minutes of anaerobic activities every week. It's also necessary to drink a lot of water to minimizing toxins, sleep more than 8 hours, and think twice before you do something to reduce stress. And finally, eat a healthy diet composed of 5 pieces of fruit per day and not much saturated fat. To have a healthy lifestyle, it's important to affect comfort. Having friends is really important for happiness. There are some investigations which say that friends are one of the most important things for your happiness. Having a good relationship with your family is very important too. Stress is one of the worst enemies to achieving happiness. As a psychologist, I have treated many people that are depressed, and one of the factors that makes them depressed is stress. There are ways to avoid stress, and now I'm going to tell you some ways. Reduce the things that you do. There are things that you can avoid. For example, don't have children. Be more punctual. When you're late somewhere you are always very stressed. Plan the things that you have to do.
I completely agree with you, Carlos. I have treated some patients with stress too, and most of them are depressed, so my advice is to follow Carlos' advice.
Thank you for everything, Dr. Sofia. Now my mate Pablo is going to continue. What are you going to tell us, Pablo?
Good morning, my name is Pablo and I'm a personal trainer. Today I'm going to talk to Anna, who is a nutritionist, about a healthy lifestyle. Let's start. What can we do to have a healthy lifestyle, Anna?
Good morning, Pablo. Well, I'm going to recommend you some things, such as you should have a diet with the most approximately percentages of the nutrients that you need. They are 57% of carbohydrates, 25% of fats, 15% of protein, and 3% of fibers.
There are more things that can help you, like cutting down on sweets and fast food, eat vegetables and fruits, at least one piece per day, and of course do exercise every day.
Yes, of course. And you shouldn't forget sleep at least 8 hours, and you shouldn't smoke or drink too much alcohol.
That's true. What are the benefits of doing exercise regularly?
There are two groups of benefits. There are biological benefits, like improve your physical fitness, or you can improve resistance of insulin, and there are psychological benefits, like it increases self-esteem and it decreases the number of accidents.
You are right, but I think that there are more benefits of the two groups in biological benefits, like helping to maintain body weight. It can also improve flexibility and mobility of joints, and it reduces fatigue. The psychological benefits are also that it increases well-being.
Yes, you have reason.
As you are a nutritionist, you can give us a planning to reach healthy physical and mental energy for a week.
Yes, a good plan for a week will be this. Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays we have to do an hour of cycling or half an hour running using the 60% of our capacity. Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays we are going to go swimming or play some sport for an hour, trying to control our forces. On Sundays we are going to stretch our muscles out for 20 minutes. This will help us to relax our body and have more flexibility.
And now we are going to explain some tests to determine which degree of physical fitness you have. First of all, you have to control your heartbeat in every exercise we are going to say and wait 45 seconds before you start the next one. First, 20 crunches. The second one is 15 flexing exercises. The third one, 30 seconds jumping the rope. If your heartbeats before the exercise are above 180, you have to go to the doctor and try to improve your physical activity.
All we have mentioned before have some advantages, like feeling better with yourself, and you will be more fit and you will have less cardiovascular problems.
I agree with you, but another advantages can be your life expectancy, which will be longer. Or just to sum up, every time you do exercise you will have advantages.
But there are also some techniques to reduce stress and to boost energy and mood. Take a deep breath before doing an exercise or do relaxing sports like yoga.
Yes, that's a good idea because the stress causes the muscle to tense, so we recommend you to receive a massage once a month to relax your body. And how about the disadvantages of having unhealthy social habits?
Having unhealthy social habits can produce obesity, addiction, and breathing and heart problems.
Yes, that's true. There are another disadvantages like weakness in the muscle and stress that produces problems for sleep and relaxation.
I agree with you. Therefore, people should have a balanced diet and do sport to have a healthy lifestyle.
Well, with that we have finished our advice and we can pass back to Carlos.
As a doctor, I should say that death is the end of sense, and consciousness, and the death is the end. But I think that there is more after life because I can believe that we use life to die.
I don't think the same on you, Dr. Lopez. I know that no one wants to die and everybody would like to believe in life after death. but I think that it is illogical and it's just a fair.
I don't agree with you, Carlos, neither with Sofía. I think that we humans have a soul that when we die goes to another body that is being born, because every time that someone's died in my family, it's going to be a birth and a new member of the family. What do you think, Anna?
I more or less agree with you, Pablo. I think that when we die, our soul goes to another body, but I think that it depends on how have you been during your life. If you have been a good person during your life, your soul will go to another human body, but if you have been a bad person, your soul will return as an animal or a plant.
Such good answers. Now that our brains are active, what do you think of the soul? Does it exist?
I think that is something real that is inside us, that makes us what we were, that what we are, and me, for example. I'm friendly thanks to my soul.
I don't completely agree with you, Anna. I think that our soul is born when we die. I mean, it's inside us, but it becomes active when we die. That's we don't feel that it's inside us.
Completely disagree with you. I think that the soul doesn't exist. That is an invention of our imagination, just because we are afraid of the end. Of course I would like it to exist, but my logic doesn't let me.
I can't believe that, Carlos, because it's really important for me to believe in life after death. It's so important for me. I think that I couldn't live with your way of thinking.
I would like to talk about a really interesting point. What do you think about euthanasia? There are many different points of view among doctors. I think that sometimes it can be good for the patient, as there are times in which it is better to die than continue living, suffering with no hope or surviving.
No, I don't agree with you, Dr. Lopez. I think that it's always better to live than to die. If you are still living, you can try to fight against your illness. But euthanasia is cowardice, and I think that it's not for us to choose who or when to die.
I don't agree with you, Anna. Of course, it is our election to die or not. It is your life, not anyone else. And there are moments in which it is much better to be dead than alive. Imagine for a moment that you have an awful illness that is going to make you feel a terrible pain all your life. Would you prefer to live if you were in this situation?
We have seen many different point of views, but the important thing is, do you agree with us? I hope that you have enjoyed the programs and see you next week in Good Morning Essex.
Continue. What are you going to tell us, Pablo? Joder, qué mal.
Thank you.